Hey guys, what is up? It is Dangeles, and welcome back to episode 199 of Constructing Los Dangeles. How's everybody doing? We are back on the city today. I'm actually out here in the desert, because that's where we are going to be working today. Not a whole lot of updates to show you guys since last episode, so I'm just going to jump right into the building for today's video, guys, on the last episode before CLD 200. So my plan for today was to build something a little bit different, something I've never done before, and just kind of see how it goes, and if it looks bad, and it is what it is. If it looks good, then I'll be really happy about it. So we're out here in the desert, and again, we have this big space here, kind of like along this deserted road here, that needs something in it. It needs to be filled up with something, and I thought that I wanted to add some sort of restaurant to here, some sort of like old rundown restaurant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a diner out here. But it's going to be kind of like a different kind of diner. It's going to have like an old non-functional locomotive attached to it, kind of. I have a diner near where I live that's kind of similar to this in terms of like the idea. It's not how I'm going to build it, but just kind of like the idea for it. And that's pretty much what I want to do for this. I'll probably just call it like the Locomotive Diner or something like that, something simple. But I'm going to start off by just making some sort of like railroad or train tracks or something like that. And I think I'll start from like right here and have it go like this way. Obviously, it's a non-functional train. Maybe it was functional in the past, but you know, it's here in the future, here in CLD, so no longer works. So I'm going to have this rail go all the way down here. I'll probably add some cobblestone and some gravel underneath this, maybe just to kind of mix up the design. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I want to make this an even number. Normally, I'm not a big fan of even numbers in Minecraft. I like to usually stick to odd numbers, but for this, I think I'll go even. So we'll have that run down, and then I'm going to basically just go every other block here with just kind of like a lining of dark oak wood planks, or not planks, slabs. But I'm able to use dark oak wood now, obviously, since that's one of the new blocks, and we already took advantage of the acacia wood with the factory on the other side of the city. So we're going to use some dark oak wood here, just kind of every other block. I'm just going to run down some slabs and basically just connect this all the way to the end here. Nothing too fancy like that. And I think I'll extend this one more just like that. Okay, so basically we have this simple little railroad right there. When you look at it from a distance, definitely kind of looks like a railroad. So I like that so far. Next thing I want to do is actually add the train on top of it. And again, I've never built kind of like a locomotive or like a freight train before. I have built obviously like a speed train. Obviously this in the city, we have an example of that. So for this, I'm just going to try to just go for it and see what I can come up with here. And if it looks good, then it looks good. If it doesn't, then again, we can always just change it later. So I think I'm going to start off with a couple of gray wool blocks, and I think I'm going to take these up 2 blocks tall. So in front of the gray wool here, I think I want to put down that thing that's in the front of the train. I think it's called a pilot. I could be wrong about that. I don't really have a lot of knowledge with trains. It's funny because when I was younger, I used to really like trains. I was like a big train fan when I was like really, really young. I'm talking like 4 or 5 years old, and there used to be a train factory or a train, not factory, a museum, right, kind of close to where I live. And we used to go there, and I used to like always just like check out the trains, and it was pretty cool. So I'm gonna try to build something like that in the front here. It's not gonna be like that old-fashioned one where it's kind of have the lines in between it, and it looks kind of like a bar, I guess you could say. But I am gonna try to build that thing. I think they're called pilots. I think there's like a slang term for it as well, but that's what I'm gonna call it, I guess. And I'm thinking that I might be able to use some sort of dark oak wood fence here, so I'm gonna take those out and maybe throw those right here on the front. That might be a cool thought, or even just maybe do like that. Even that kind of might look pretty good as well. I'll have to kind of just experiment with it. That actually looks not too bad, and maybe I could even replace these with some as well, so it'll kind of have like 2 layers of it. We can change it back and forth, but I think I like that so far. All right, so next thing I'm gonna do is throw down some brown wool. Gonna place this on each side of the cobblestone walls, and I'm basically just gonna have this go up, and I think I'll probably add some detail to this, maybe put down some stairs. We can use the dark oak wood. It kind of blends in kind of nicely with the brown wool, so I'm gonna try to use that. I'll use brown and gray. I was thinking about going with some more fancy colors, but then I remembered that it's in the desert, so I figured it would kind of like, these are the colors that make it look kind of rusty or run down, so that's what I'm going to go for. And next thing I guess I'll do would be to take this gray wool down a little bit. Oh, that's right, I need to add kind of like the wheels or whatever they're called on the side here. Do they call them wheels for trains, even though they're on rails? Do they still call them wheels? I'm not 100% sure about that. So what I'm thinking for this might be a cool idea. What if I take some anvils and some hoppers, and I go like every other block? Let me put like a little lining over this so I can kind of like visualize what I want. Do I want to take this 2 blocks out or just 1? I think I'm gonna take it 2 blocks out. So we'll have that run down however far it needs to go, and then I'll do every other block anvil. And then hopper. I need to put a block above this. I think I'll just put down a cobblestone wall, another anvil. Just go every other for anvils to start, and have those run down. And then next to those, there's going to be hoppers, and I'll just connect these to the rail. So can I like crouch and do that? Nah, that's not what I want. Okay, so I'm gonna put another anvil there. I'm gonna grab my gray wool back out here. And I think I'm going to take down some spacing here. Maybe 3 blocks, maybe more. I think 3 blocks will do. And then I'll take this up more. And then this will kind of get filled in. And then I can fill this in with some... I just wanted to do like a different level there, so it kind of looks like it's separated. Might have like a window here possibly. Might just make that like a full thing. But, you know, it looks like a big square right now, guys. But we're getting there. We're getting there. It's definitely going to be a process, but I like this. Let me just kind of throw this down here and see if I like this at all, because I'm not 100% sure. And I'll just continue this down so I can put the hoppers underneath here. Let me look at this from a distance, because I'm trying to get like some sort of, you know, design there that looks good. I actually think that looks kind of cool from a distance. It kind of does look like wheels a little bit, so we'll go with that. Okay, and let's move back over here. We're gonna have to figure out a spot for the windows. So I'm just gonna clear everything because I need some more stuff here. I'm gonna grab some black stained glass to start, and I think what I'm gonna do is also grab some stone slabs and some gray wool. Gonna throw some gray wool right here. Maybe extend this. And I should probably grab some more brown wool here. Extend this down. And guys, while I'm working on this, I figured I would get to the question of the day, and it is a little bit fitting because we are absolutely building something with transportation in it. So speaking of transportation, today's question of the day comes from Philly Fan, and he says, Dan, do you think 4J Studios should have an update where the city texture pack should replace horses with cars? Now, I'm gonna be honest, when I first read this question, I kind of just shrugged it off. I don't know, wasn't too sure about it. But then when I thought about it more, I I just kind of started to like the idea a little bit. And I'm just thinking about how they could do that, because they could just reskin the horses. Because I was thinking about I don't know if I like that. Let me break this. I was thinking about the old, or not that old, it's brand new, the new Greek mythology texture pack. Trying to think and build at the same time, guys. I apologize. The Greek mythology, a mashup pack, right? I really like that world, and it's really underrated, by the way. If you haven't like checked it out yet or watched any videos on it, you definitely should, because it's a pretty cool world. But anyway, before I digress too far, I was just thinking about how they reskinned the horses on that world to make them look, you know, like they're from Greek mythology, right? So they had like a Pegasus horse, and it was pretty cool. And I was just thinking they could do the same thing for the city texture pack, right? They could just simply reskin the cars and make them look, or reskin the horses to make them look like cars. And I don't know how difficult that would be, but it would just be the same mechanic on how you would ride them. You just simply, you know, you click into them and you dismount the same way and all that stuff. And they could just reskin them to make them look like cars. I don't know how big they'd make them, because obviously they'd probably have to make them the same, I guess, you know, they would take up the same amount of space as horses, is what I'm trying to say, because that would start to, you know, complicate things. But I think honestly that would be a really cool idea, and I think they could potentially do that. I don't know how difficult that would be to recreate, but that would be something really, really cool. It would definitely help the city a lot, and it would definitely help for CLD 200. You guys will find out about that in a few days. But yeah, thank you very much for that question, Philly fan. Kind of an interesting thought, and for sure, kind of made me think about it for a second. So appreciate the question. Thank you very much for that. And just a quick recap of what I've been doing. Kind of threw some windows down on this thing, added some, you know, just like some detail here, and there's some beacons up here just to, you know, add some lighting and stuff like that. What do you guys think about this so far? I'm not 100% sold on it, to be honest with you. I kind of like it. Thinking about taking this and continuing this down like this way. That way, there's kind of just like a little bit of a backstop to that. Yeah, just like that, that's already a good change. So it's not going to be like one of those super old-fashioned steam trains where they have, you know, obviously the big smokestacks like all throughout the thing. I don't know if it would even make any sense to add a smokestack at all, especially for a train that's not even active. So I think I'll probably just pass on that. We built enough smokestacks in this city anyway, just from last episode or last couple episodes of CLD. All right, so let's see. I just got to basically replicate this from one side to the other. So this would run down 2 blocks out right here and just kind of continue downward. And the front of this train is going to connect to like a bigger building, I guess. It's just going to kind of be like a little thing for show. It's not really going to be like an actual, like the restaurant isn't going to actually be inside this part of the train. It's just, this is basically just kind of like, hey, we built a restaurant off a train. That's basically the idea for this thing. And I think there is actually something kind of similar to this in GTA 5. There's kind of like a little diner thing on Vinewood Boulevard in that game. That's kind of similar to this idea, so that's cool. And let me see, I got to grab some hoppers back out here. And it's basically just copy and paste job right now. Just kind of taking this from one side to the next. We're going to put our cobblestone wall right there. The hopper goes there. So every other block's got a hopper on it. And anvils to follow. I think that's a pretty cool concept there. Not 100% sure, but I'm never 100% sure on a build right away. That rarely ever happens. And I'm sure you guys probably know that by now. Okay. So I'm going to continue to take advantage of these new dark oak wood fences and just kind of put a lining of fences on this thing, like on each side here. And I think I'm just going to bring this brown wool in and just kind of have this run down. So we have these walls here, and what I think I'm going to do is take some dark oak wood stairs and kind of run this across here, and it gets a little bit skinnier in the middle as we kind of come from this part here where the conductor and the engineer are hanging out driving the train, even though it's not a train that works. We can, you know, it kind of gets a little bit skinnier here. This could be like the engine or something like that. And I think I'll just continue the brown wool idea, just kind of have this run through and grab some gray wool, just kind of take this across. And then I'm thinking I could add something up here. There's a couple of things I could think of. One would be some stone slabs, just like that. I could also not do stone slabs and do dark oak wood slabs. That could work as well, kind of fits the design. Something like this, right? We could do that. I kind of like that, actually. I think that looks pretty good. So we'll go with that. And what else can we add? This is looking pretty nice. I like it so far. We're definitely off to a good start. So if I were to add like a smokestack, it'd probably be right here. I'd take it up a couple of blocks and put in a flower pot. A couple of flower pots right there. And then the smoke would kind of be released from that. The thing about like this kind of train is it's not, like I said, it's not one of those like super old-fashioned locomotives. It's kind of just like, it looks a little bit more, I guess it would be like a modern freight train compared to, you know, something that was like really old-fashioned, but I think it looks pretty good. I like it. I'm not going to keep that smokestack unless you guys want me to, but I'm just going to get rid of it for now. So, I like it. I don't have any major issues with it. The only thing I can think of would be it's a little bit modern looking for a train that's kind of shut down, but I don't know. I think that's fine. It's not necessarily very modern. It's just kind of looks a little bit like that. So should I extend this? I could do something like this. Have that connect through there, and then continue this down, and kind of follow the same idea here with the fences. And I really do like the dark oak wood fences, so I want to take advantage of them. I just like dark oak wood in general. It's a lovely block, lovely addition to the game. So something like that. I think that's going to be good for now in terms of like the front. So what I want to do is possibly, now I'm not 100% sure about this, because I do want to make this thing kind of look, you know, run down a little bit, and just obviously like it's out of order, not working. So similar to what we have with the street here, I'm going to add a random assortment of blocks kind of surrounding the track. And then I might even like line some like leaves off of it. I don't know if that would make sense because we're out in the desert and vegetation is obviously sparse in the deserts. So not sure if that would make any sense, but it might just look better. So that's kind of what I care about. And I'm just going to kind of just start off with a little bit of stone here. We'll come back in with some sandstone as well. Just kind of randomly place this. You know, we're doing our whole randomizer thing we're doing. Take this down and just kind of add it all over the place. No rhyme or reason to this. And then we're going to add some gravel, which is one of the best blocks in this texture pack that no one talks about. Really like the design of gravel in this texture pack. I've always liked it since the beginning. And I should probably use it more. Obviously, I did take advantage of gravel on my, not Victorian, my traditional mansion that I built last year, which was pretty cool. And I've only used it a couple of other times. I think I used it on the Outback Steakhouse for a little bit. I'm not 100% sure on that. I have to go back and take a look at it. Maybe I'm thinking of a different block, but I think I did use it, yeah. And it's one of it's a low-key pretty good block. I like it. So something like that, right, guys? Have just kind of, you know, a random assortment of blocks kind of surrounding the train tracks. And then if I were to add like leaves over it, I would just kind of just drape them right over the top here, something like this. And I'm probably not going to do this because it really just doesn't make sense if you think about it. So because it's obviously in the desert, and why would there be like random vegetation growing in the desert? You know what I mean? So not going to do it, but that is certainly an idea. Maybe if I were to build it somewhere else, I could do that. But since it's in the desert, I think I'll pass. And then another thing I can do is build a couple of these trees right here. So we have these trees where basically I just planted tall trees, and then I just simply got rid of the leaves. And it kind of creates like this natural dead tree design here. And eventually, I've never gotten around to it, but eventually I'm going to strip these trees of their leaves as well. I just have never gotten around to it. So I think just to start for now, I think I am going to plant a tree or two here. Not strip the leaves right now, but I am going to at least plant them so they're here. And I'll plant one right here. Maybe take it up a couple of blocks. I'm going to have to grab a glass block here to kind of just get rid of that. And it's funny because the regular glass blocks, just clear glass, are kind of far away from the stained glass in the menu. I never understood that. Okay, so there's one tree, and that's perfect size. So we're good. We've struck gold first time. And I'll probably throw another one right here. So this will be a good spot. And then we can add some cactus as well, some cacti, if we're doing the plural. I'll just kind of spam the bone meal out of here. We're using some bone meal soda. Oh, that's a really big tree. That's good stuff. All right, so I'm 2 for 2, which is always a good thing. Nothing better than planting some tall trees on video. And then the next thing I want to do is grab some cactus, like I said. If I can ever find where those are nowadays. Here we go. And kind of take this up. And I'm always like thinking that I want to build... Oh, by the way, there's going to be like a parking lot right here, a small one. Because like the restaurant entrances can probably going to be around here somewhere. I always think that I want to add kind of like fake cactuses. And I'll show you what I mean by this. You grab some... where is this right now? Here we go. You grab some stained clay. And you kind of just take this up and create kind of like one of those like tall cactuses that you find. Something like this. Maybe not. No. I know what I mean. I just need to refine this design a little bit. Kind of like that. You know, like those tall cactuses that kind of have branches to them, but I much just prefer using like the actual cactuses that they put in the game. You know what I mean? You know, if they put them in the game, you might as well use them. But that is kind of like an interesting thing there. I've definitely seen that before on like creative worlds, and it's pretty cool. But I don't know if it fits for this world, kind of, it's just because there's regular cactus all around, so it doesn't really match the theme. But guys, I think that's where I'm going to conclude today. We started off building this little locomotive here, and I'm going to continue to connect this thing down to like a larger restaurant over here. And it should be kind of just a cool little diner out here in the boonies of Los Angeles. Just something different, something to just add some more character and just some more themes to this world. So thanks for watching, everybody. It's been Danlags. Guys, next episode is going to be CLD 200, and I don't want to make any early promises, but it should be out on Friday, this Friday, so August 7th. I think you guys will really enjoy it. So I've been working pretty hard on it, and it's going to be out next episode since we are concluding CLD 199 today. Not going to answer a question of the day for CLD 200, so you can leave your comments for CLD 201, and give the video a like if you did enjoy it. Guys, it's been Danlags. See you guys on CLD 200 on Friday, hopefully. Don't put that down in your calendars because it could be Saturday. You never know what happens. Schedules could change, could have technical difficulties. Hopefully none of that stuff happens and it'll be out on Friday, but I'm going to stop rambling. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys on CLD 200. Peace out.